American Timelines is a member of the Queen City Podcast Network. For more information, go to queencitypodcastnetwork.com.
Richard Marx sucks.
Sounds like a purse that's shaped like a vagina.
That's the greatest name ever.
Leo Jellison.
I'm Leo Jellison, bitch.
Welcome to another episode of American Timelines. I'm Amy.
And I'm Porkchop Johnson.
Porkchop Johnson.
Porkchop Johnson.
What is Porkchop Johnson all
I
about?
am a chef, and I'm famous for my pork chops, and I'm covered in pubes.
All right, that's Joe.
My name's
Covered
Joe.
in
I'm
pubes.
sorry. I'm like
Ridiculous.
other people's pubes. Like
Yeah.
that would be. I was just picturing a guy
We don't need to know about the
his whole
the
face
picture.
and everything would have.
All right.
I don't know, pork chop. My name's Joe. I don't know why. I feel like I've said so many names and fake names that it's just like I have to do it now. Like if I don't do it, the listeners will be disappointed.
Nobody's going to be disappointed.
Nobody will?
Okay, so
nobody's listening. American Timelines is a podcast where Joe and Amy
this
cover...
already sucks.
American Timelines is a podcast where we cover weird news and pop culture history year by year, taking a deep dive into a true crime or mystery while giving day-by-day context to events. Did that murder happen while Sam and Diane finally kiss on Cheers? Or was that alien abduction the same year that Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter on LSD?
That was a little...
Either way,
little
we'll tell
lengthy.
you. You'll find out.
That
on
was a
American
little much.
Timelines.
Might have been a little much.
American Timelines by History for Jerks.
All right.
We're the jerks,
And
this
tonight-
is the history.
Tonight we are talking about 1976.
Yes, we're continuing into 1976 because we
1976, yes.
if you remember, we last left off in March
We did. This
of
bicentennial
1976.
year.
We left off with a murdering guy on the run who murdered his family,
Yep.
and we never heard from him again. His name was Bradford Bishop.
Yes, that's right.
Bradford, is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
Not to be confused with the great Steve Bishop, who was also born in March.
All right. We
But-
don't need to.
We'll just keep on going here and just so you know, the number 4 television show, according to Nielsen ratings that
Okay.
year, was on Sunday, March 21st,
Okay.
and it is about just a little synopsis of the show.
Yeah.
You see if you can guess what it is. A wealthy mystery man who runs a detective agency via speakerphone and his personal assistant, John
Charlie's
Bosley.
Angels.
Yep, his detectives are
Oh.
3 beautiful women
You love me.
who end up in a variety of difficult situations. The cast changed substantially over the life of the show.
I can tell you all of them in
as
what order.
actresses left for various movie, television, and modeling
I can tell you
deals.
all of them and in what order.
You
And
can?
literally, yes.
Well,
Yes.
I'll tell you their names, and you tell me who played at them.
Okay.
Sabrina Duncan.
That was Sabrina Duncan was. Oh, you mean what the actors were?
Yeah, you
Kate
tell
Jackson,
me that. Yep. Kelly Garrett
Jacqueline Smith,
and Jill Monroe
Farrah Fawcett.
were all graduates of the L.A. Police Academy. However, rather than do meaningful police work like their male counterparts, they were given menial jobs such as meter maid. Mm-hmm. Who was the meter maid, you know?
I think it was Sabrina.
Right. Crossing guard.
That was definitely Jill.
Nope, that
No.
was Kelly.
Oh, that's right.
I
That's
guess
right.
you don't know everything about it. And typist. was
This
Jill.
is all you see. This is at the beginning
Just
of
the
these
beginning.
episodes.
Well,
like
you
the
say you're
very
an expert.
beginning.
I'm holding you to
It's
it.
been a long time.
Reclusive millionaire Charlie Townsend hires the trio to work for his private investigation agency. Their only contact with him is through the phone and through his right-hand man, John Bosley.
Yes.
In the course of their duties, they often go undercover to try to get the goods on the various criminals they go after. A year after joining the firm, Jill quits the agency to become a driver on the Formula One circuit and is replaced by her kid sister,
Cheryl Ladd, Chris Monroe.
Chris,
Yep.
who originally was going to be a teacher but followed in her big sister's footsteps and became a police officer herself in San Francisco. But like her big sister, was given menial duties.
Mm-hmm. That was the best. Those are the ones that I liked the best. Was with Chris on them.
When Chris was at it, is played by who?
Cheryl Ladd.
Oh, Cheryl Ladd. A couple of years later, Sabrina quits to get married and starts a family and is replaced by former Boston policewoman Tiffany Wells.
Shelley Hack.
Shelley Hack. Tiffany quits a year after joining the firm and was replaced by ex-model Julie Rogers.
Tanya Roberts.
Oh, gosh. I don't know who that is. The surname of...
If you saw her, you would know her.
Oh, so here's some trivia about it. See if you know any of these. The surname of David Doyle's character, John Bosley, was an in-joke reference to the fact that Doyle was often misidentified
as Tom Bosley?
Yeah, as television actor
I could
Tom
see
Bosley.
that.
You could see that?
Yeah.
So that's why they named him that.
Oh, that's funny.
Which I'm glad that it's... I think of Tom Bosley every time I hear anybody say Bosley.
Yeah.
There's only one angel to last the entire series.
And it was Sabrina. No, it wasn't Sabrina. It was Kelly.
Kelly Garrett,
It was
Jacqueline Smith. Right, correct. Good. Okay. You're 2 for 2 on this trivia. You do know your shit.
I do know my Charlie's Angels, and I thank you for. It was kind of a little present
for putting this in here
because I know you didn't have
talk
to
about the stupid garbage you like. Listen to this. John Forsythe was called in at the last minute to voice Charlie.
That's right.
When the original actor who had been cast turned out to have a drinking problem.
Hey, Angels, I got a big thing for you to do today.
I'll do your goddamn show.
I got a mystery for you to figure out, Angels.
Producer Aaron Spelling called Forsythe past midnight on a Friday and begged him to come to the studio immediately as the pilot was to be broadcast after the weekend. Forsythe ended up recording his first voiceover in his pajamas.
Oh.
Or as some folks say, pajamas.
That's true.
Do you know who owns the screen rights to the series?
No. It's probably Drew Barrymore.
It is Drew Barrymore.
Is it?
Good. Okay. Do you know who Kate Jackson was originally cast as? But she preferred the role of Sabrina. She was originally cast as something else.
Oh, she was Kelly?
Yep. Did you see that? You saw that.
I can't see from here at all, no.
You can't?
No.
Okay. I forget. You have those giant Coke bottle glasses.
I do not. I think my glasses, I think my prescription's getting weaker.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Damn my eyes.
Let's talk about it. What is your... Could you read off your prescription?
All right, keep going with the Charlie's Angels.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, that was awesome.
And you like it, so...
When I was little, we would play Charlie's Angels all the livelong day, and it was my cousin Katie and my friend Joy and I was always Kelly.
Now, did you do...
I was a bitch about being Kelly. I would say, I'm not playing unless I can be Kelly.
Who plays Kelly?
Jacqueline Smith.
I thought she was the dark-haired one?
Yeah, I thought she was the most beautiful
Everybody didn't
one.
want to be Farrah Fawcett? I would think everybody wanted to be Farrah Fawcett.
Well, Farrah Fawcett, we played it with Kelly, Chris, and Sabrina when we played it.
I don't know what that means.
Not Kelly, Jill, and Sabrina.
You didn't play with Farrah Fawcett?
No, because when we started watching it, when it was our age, her age, Farrah Fawcett was too young. Like, we were too young to watch it when Farrah was on it.
Oh,
we saw reruns of it.
Well, Farrah Fawcett left and it wasn't.
But
see, I just think of Farrah Fawcett.
But I feel like Cheryl Ladd was on it the longest. I feel like not the longest of all of them, but like the longest where people were of the people that changed.
Let me ask you this: did you ever play Extremities with Farrah Fawcett?
No,
you didn't play?
No, we didn't play beat off a rapist.
Yeah, spray
with
stuff in his eyes
with a fireplace poker.
Yeah, I remember one summer that was on TV like all the time, nonstop.
Yes.
We just kept watching. I don't know why I watched it.
You kept watching it?
Yeah, it was. I don't know why I watched it. I don't.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're a weirdo.
Yeah, I'm a weird guy. And then Thursday, April 1st was April Fool's Day.
Yeah, that's true.
On April Fool's Day, 1976, the BBC convinced many listeners that a special alignment of the planets would temporarily decrease gravity on Earth.
Ha.
Phone lines were flooded with callers who claimed they felt the effects.
Really? Yeah, I could see that. Bunch of idiots.
People are fucking idiots.
Hey, I lifted up the floor about 2 feet just now. I just wanted to call in and let you know that.
My scrotum seems lighter.
Yeah.
It's not such a burden.
What's going on? I feel light in my loafers, but I have for most of my life.
My diarrhea doesn't bother me as bad. All right. Friday, April 2nd, 1976, according to Gizmodo, pinball was banned in New York City until 1976. It was considered a gambling device.
Gambling? How do you gamble with pinball?
It was considered gambling because it was all chance. There was no way to be good at it. That's what they thought.
Oh.
So until Roger Sharp testified by playing pinball in the courtroom while calling out precisely what he was going to do to shoot for and scoring, showing
was he
that
the
it's a game
pinball
of
wizard?
skill and not chance. He's the real pinball wizard.
Pinball wizard.
First, let's give you the history here. Pinball machines were considered games of chance, therefore gambling, since 1942. January 21st, 1942, Mayor Fiorella LaGuardia.
So wait a minute. Gambling is just a game of chance. It's not has to do with money necessarily.
It's just anything. It's anything you gamble on. That's a game of chance. Like you play a game of chance, you can gamble because there's no skill.
I thought gambling had to have money involved.
Well, you have to put money in the machine to play pinball.
Yeah, but
so that was gambling.
Gambling is when you're going to win something.
Well, not necessarily. You use money and you're playing a game of chance, they think. It's just like random whether or not you're going to win or not.
Oh.
So they consider that gambling. It was right after they it was around, times where they were focused on alcohol and all that stuff. So anyway, Mayor Fiorella LaGuardia officially banned pinball in New York City, and many other American cities soon followed suit. But despite this ban, pinball designers continued to operate. While pinball was officially banned publicly, it was still legal to own machines for private use. Some arcades and bars actually placed pinball machines in dark corners in opposition to the bans.
Okay.
Which this brings us back to the April morning in 1976, with Mr. Sharp awaiting patiently to enter the courtroom. He had been hired by the Music and Amusement Association, MAA for short, to be their star witness in their pursuit to overturn the ban on pinball in New York City. So he went into this courtroom to prove that it was a game of skill, that it wasn't just chance. So he had two machines to prove his case, with one being a backup in the event the first machine broke. He started playing the machine that he had practiced on and he was used to, and he was playing the best pinball game of his life, but he was stopped by one particularly grumpy councilman, afraid that the pinballers had tampered with the machine, and he demanded that Mr. Sharp use the backup machine.
Oh.
Sharp agreed, but this added another degree of difficulty. You see, Mr. Sharp was extremely familiar with the first machine, having practiced on it a whole bunch, but he was not nearly as experienced on the backup machine.
Okay.
Nonetheless, he agreed and began playing on the backup. With the ban on the verge of not being overturned, Sharp pulled a move that has become pinball legend.
Okay.
Reminiscent of another New York sporting legend, he declared that if he could make the ball go through the middle lane on his next turn, then he would have proven that pinball is a game of skill. Essentially, he was calling his shot, like Babe Ruth. And staking the future of pinball on it. Pulling back the plunger, he let that silver ball fly. Upon contact with a flipper, the ball zoomed up and down through the middle lane, just as Sharp had said it would. And with that, proved that there was indeed skill to the game of pinball. The council immediately overturned the ban on pinball because of Roger Sharp playing a mean pinball.
Pretty cool. And so then the Who made that song, probably.
Yep, and then Pete Townsend watched a bunch of child porn.
Yeah, apparently. That's right.
Unfortunately, and now we can't like this. We can't like pinball anymore. You can't like the Who. You can't like Tommy. Yep. I was going to watch the Tommy rock opera, but I
feel like you can't
because of child porn. Like every person who does anything
I'm
good.
so sad that you're so inconvenienced by child porn.
No. that is. That's well, no, I mean, it's terrible for the children, of course, and all the awfulness. But just in general, like, we got to figure out these rules here. Like, is anything made by someone who does something awful immediately gone? Like, if we found out, like, what if we found out Charles Schultz tomorrow murdered a bunch of people? Like, can we still like the Peanuts gang?
Oh, I think so. I think murder is fine.
Oh, but if he raped a bunch of people, we can't.
No.
Okay, so rape. If anyone rapes, you can't like what they've done. Their art.
I think that's probably what it is.
Huh. Okay. But what about this? Our founding fathers raped a bunch of slaves, but we still like our country.
Yeah, but the country isn't the founding fathers.
Yeah, but they made it. It's what they made. It's their art. Right?
No. Honey, you're
I don't know.
Real far out now.
Not to say that I just wish I could watch.
We're getting real off base here.
I wish I could watch Bill Cosby's old movies.
I know. It always comes back to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. Why just don't rape anybody? Like, that's like, you have everything. You're super rich and never have to worry about anything. You can make any show you want. You can do whatever you want in your life. Yeah. Just don't rape anybody.
Right.
That's all you need.
Right.
And you can't not do that. I don't get it. I don't get rapists. Anyway, Saturday, April 3rd, 1976, Johnny Tyler takes over the #1 spot on the Billboard charts. Do you know who that is?
No.
Johnny Tyler with the song Disco Lady.
Oh, I know that song.
You do? Sing it for me.
Move it in, move it out, move it in, move it out. Disco lady.
There you go. This was Taylor's first for Columbia Records, where Taylor signed after his longtime label Stax Records went bankrupt. Among the guests on this song were 4 members of Parliament Funkadelic, bassist Bootsy Collins, keyboardist Bernie Worrell, guitarist Glenn Goins, and drummer Jerome Braley.
Okay.
And background vocals by Brandeis.
Alrighty.
Did you know all those people?
I know some of them.
And then Friday, April 9th, 1976, the number 4 grossing the fourth top grossing movie came out.
Okay.
It was about the Washington Post reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein uncovering the Watergate scandal that leads to President Richard Nixon's resignation. Do you know what movie it is?
It's not All the President's Men.
It is.
Is it All the President's Men? That's okay. I get that confused with what's the one with Jimmy Stewart? I just get the titles confused.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life.
No, there's one that Jimmy Stewart.
It's a Wonderful Life.
And it's a political one too.
Oh yeah, there is one.
And I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, You Can't Take It With You?
No.
He was in that.
He was. That's true.
Here's some things with this. Like, do you know who stars? Do you remember who stars in this? As Bob Woodward?
Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford.
Yes, right. And Frank Wills, the security guard who discovered the break-in at the Watergate complex, played himself.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Listen to this. Nothing was allowed into the script of this movie unless it had been meticulously verified and confirmed by independent sources.
Wow.
So it's probably a pretty accurate movie.
Robert
Redford felt that casting him as Bob Woodward, he was unnecessarily unbalancing the film, so the obvious answer for him was to cast a star of equal weight. For that reason, he approached Dustin Hoffman at a Knicks game and offered him the role of Carl Bernstein.
Oh, wow.
That's according to IMDb.
That's pretty sweet. Be nice to be a fly on the wall during that whole exchange.
Hey, Dustin. Yeah, definitely an excellent driver. Yeah, definitely next game. Definitely.
Now wait a minute. That's just a character, honey.
That's my impression of Dustin Hoffman. No, he's playing himself in Rain Man.
I don't think
he might have been. Anyway, I don't know. Do you think Bob Woodward was as attractive as Robert Redford when he was young?
No.
So Bob Woodward's like. He probably thought that. Oh, yeah.
I know Robert Redford. I mean, that's like that was the go-to.
Yeah, so he was probably like
the go-to reference for ultimate handsome man back then.
So Bob Woodward was probably like, man, I'm fucking hot.
Yeah, he probably did.
And then Redford played me, man. I'm the hottest dude.
Bernstein was probably like, oh,
I'm Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, jeez, tells a lot about me.
Yeah, I'm 4 foot tall and definitely an excellent driver. Hot water bird baby. And then Sunday, April 11th, 1976, the Apple Computer 1 is a desktop computer that was released by the Apple Computer Company.
Really?
Yeah. In 1976.
I didn't know that.
It was designed and hand-built by Steve Wozniak.
Yeah, I knew that.
Wozniak's friend Steve Jobs had the idea of selling the computer.
Yeah.
The Apple I was their first product, and to finance its creation, Jobs sold his only motorized means of transportation, a VW microbus.
Okay.
For a few $100, and Steve sold his HP 65 calculator. Nerd.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Nerd.
Total nerd.
He sold it for $500.
Yeah.
However,
a calculator for $500 in 1976. What kind of fucking calculator was it?
An HP 65.
Like what?
That must have been a big deal. Big shit. You know, it was like probably a graphing calculator in the 70s. That's $500 calculaire. That's crazy.
Think about that.
Yeah, but they didn't have computers, so that was a computer.
A calculator?
That was that was like the highest tech you had, right?
I don't know. I feel like calculators were around before that, but maybe not. I feel like adding machines were around.
Of course, calculators were around, but this is like a high tech calculator. It's probably like the next step below a computer if it's $500. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
This computer was demonstrated in July 1976 at the Homebrew Computer Club in Palo Alto, California, that those guys were both members of.
Okay.
There were several very high-profile hackers and computer entrepreneurs that are part of that club, including the founders of Apple. The open exchange of ideas that went on at the bi-weekly meetings and the club newsletter helped launch the personal computer revolution.
Wow.
The Homebrew Computer Club has been called the crucible for an entire industry. And there's one more third co-founder of Apple. Have you heard of this guy, Ronald Wayne?
No.
Along with Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs, in 1976, he sold his 10% share of the company.
Oh my God.
He sold it for $800.
Oh my God.
Today's 10% would be worth $35 billion.
Oh my God.
That guy's an idiot.
That's awful.
Yeah, poor Ronald Wayne.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy, he must have killed himself by now.
No, he's sucking dick behind an Arby's.
Oh my
for
God.
Crack. Yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe he did kill him. I don't know what Ronald Wayne's doing. He probably.
How could you not kill yourself?
I wonder if he became a hacker. I think he was one of the guys that became a hacker, maybe.
Like, why? How could you not kill yourself?
Well, if you can suck a mean dick behind an Arby's.
All right.
I don't know. Anyway, you know how much that first computer sold for?
No.
Do you want to guess?
Probably $10,000 or something.
It's more than a Super Bowl ad at this point.
Oh wow, it's like 100,000, 150,000.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Wait, it's way. No, sorry. There's a decimal there. It's way less than a Super Bowl ad. Sorry.
Jeez.
I thought that was a common.
10,000.
Nope, $666.66.
That wasn't very climactic.
No, it was stupid. But it's 666, so they're devil worshippers.
Oh.
So anybody
That's
who...
the 70s.
Yeah, so anybody
70s was about devil worship.
Anybody who goes to church and is found by the Lord and you have an Apple product, you better get rid of it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you're going to hell. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, April 13th, just a few days later,
mm-hmm.
a $2 bill was changed.
What?
The face of the $2 bill hasn't been changed since this date.
Okay.
And the $2 bill, I don't know if you know about this, has no security features because the $2 bill is counterfeited too infrequently to warrant a change.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's the next. That would be the answer for somebody who is wanting to counterfeit money, is just to use $2 bills because they'd be easier to do.
Oh shit! Yeah, and I've just told everyone.
Yeah.
Damn! Now it's gonna be out there.
Now it's out there.
In current day, $2 bills, like, didn't they stop doing them now, or can you still use them?
I don't think they make them anymore, but I think you can still use them.
I actually looked up something that said...
Didn't your brother have a whole shitload of $2 bills?
My dad always collected them. My dad loved $2 bills. He always had, like, booklets
I just remember he paid for, like, something. He paid Henry or Audrey for Girl Scout cookies or something, and he paid her with $2 bills.
Those were my dad's, probably left over my dad's $2 bills.
$10 and $2 bills.
Well, we just got more things from my dad's last belongings, and there was another box of $2 bills.
Did you split it with each other?
We gave it to my brother, beef.
Oh yeah.
We figured he could use it the most, but
yeah. Was it a lot?
I think it was like $100.
Oh,
$2 bills.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, I looked up, and $2 bills are really, technically, because they're so rare, they're worth a little bit more than $2.
Yeah.
They're really worth like $2.75 or something. Like
really?
Almost $3 each one. So if you collect them, and maybe way in the future.
Yeah.
But anyway, $2 bills.
Yep.
Let's start counterfeiting them. Saturday, April 24th, 1976.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live producer Lorne Michaels makes an on-air offer to pay the Beatles $3,000 to reunite on the show.
Oh, wow.
And get this. John Lennon and Paul McCartney happened to be watching the show together in New York City.
Ha.
And they considered walking down to the studio to accept the check.
Oh, funny.
But they didn't. They decided not to. Instead, let's just do a bunch of coke. And then Lorne Michaels would raise his offer to $3,200 on SNL's May 22nd episode. And I don't think they never did it.
Yeah. It was worth a try.
Yeah. Hell, why not? How cool. What an event that would have been.
Yeah.
We'd all be talking about that. And then Saturday, May 1st, 1976, the Bellamy Brothers take over the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100.
With?
Let Your Love Flow.
Let your love flow like a hot stream. Now let your love go. Yeah.
You know, the guy who composed that song was a roadie for Neil Diamond.
Oh, really?
Larry Williams. Yep.
All the great hits from Larry Williams we have around through the years.
He probably wrote a bunch more. You know?
Maybe.
All the roadies are writing songs.
Yeah.
That same day,
Yep.
there was a novel. The first printing of a novel called Bear was released in Toronto. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Bear is a novel about a lonely librarian in northern Ontario who enters into a sexual relationship with a bear.
Ew. What?
Yeah. It won the Canadian Governor General's Literacy Award.
And people liked it?
This novel was written in a busy and tumultuous period in the author Marian Engel's life.
I guess so.
She had started a writers' union from her home, and she was raising twins while undergoing a painful divorce. And she took regular psychotherapy sessions and worried about her mental health.
So she wrote a book about a woman having sex with a bear?
She wrote a book about fucking a bear.
Why are we talking about this right now?
Because it happened in 76, and it was well known.
It was a thing?
She started writing the novel to contribute to a WC, that's the union she put together, a collection of pornographic fiction by serious writers.
Ew, it's like pornographic?
Yes, she's fucking a bear.
Ew.
The book was rejected. She's fucking a bear. I just can't believe there's a book about she's
Ew.
fucking a bear. The book was rejected when first sent to publishers. An editor with Harcourt Brace wrote in a rejection letter, Its relative brevity, coupled with its extreme strangeness, presents, I'm afraid, an insuperable obstacle in present circumstances.
Yeah, I guess so.
Really, if she didn't fuck the bear,
Yeah.
I think maybe it'd be better.
Can she befriend the bear? Is that too much to ask?
No, she just wants to fuck it.
Oh, come on. That's
Yeah, my favorite piece of graffiti still to this day that I've ever seen was in college. There was a bathroom stall. It was a great bathroom to poop in if you had to poop because it was not well known. Nobody knew this bathroom was there, so it was always pretty clean and not usable. But on the stall wall, it said I can't remember the guy's names, but it was like Jim something fucks dead bears.
and you just love that.
Like, who decided to write that? Somebody fucks dead bears. It's like my second favorite is one that says Rick Ryer is a son of a bitch.
Yeah, I like that.
I saw that.
Rick Ryer is a son of a
in a
bitch.
gas station somewhere in Ohio. Yeah, Rick Ryer is a son of a bitch.
It's a weird one to be in a men's bathroom, or were you peeping in the women's bathroom?
Rick Ryer is a son of a bitch?
Yeah, like why would a guy write that about another guy?
Well, that might have been a unisex bathroom now I think about it. It was a real shitty place. It was a gross bathroom. But Rick Ryer,
he is a son of a bitch.
You got to be pretty pissed at somebody to actually scratch. That was like scratch with the keys.
And that's like a 10-minute. That's a good 10 minutes of scratching.
It's
too.
right. Rick Ryer is a son of a bitch. That's a lot of letters.
It's a lot of letters.
You have to really fucking hate Rick Ryer.
Yeah, you do.
Go to that bathroom while you're pooping and just like, God, fuck Rick Ryer.
Yeah.
God damn, fuck that guy. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell everybody Rick Ryer is a son of a bitch. Oh man. Anyway, maybe it was the guy that worked there and he just worked on it. Like,
maybe it's his coworker.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll show him.
Yeah, and maybe he just worked on it every time he pooped. He's just
and then the coworker, he'll come in here and he'll be pissed off.
Yeah.
And then the guy comes in, he's like, hey,
hey,
why put that
I'm
there?
a son of a bitch.
Put that there.
I kind of want to find Rick Ryer and just let him know that
somebody thinks he's a son of a bitch. It's pretty good.
Quick Facebook search. Rick Ryer, if you're a listener, and your name is Rick Ryer, R-E-I-E-R.
And you went to Bowling Green
State
University.
This was in Kentucky or like southern Ohio. It was in some gas station. But it wasn't long. It was like when we went to Abner's wedding.
Oh, okay.
And I took pictures of all the bathrooms.
So it's in, okay.
Yeah, anyway.
You took pictures of all the bathrooms.
Yeah, I took a bunch of bathroom pictures.
Chuck Berry?
No, it was like it wasn't with people in the bathroom. It was just it was like a thing to do on a road trip. We stopped at a bunch of bathrooms.
Pictures of the bathroom?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, honey.
Well, it started with the Rick Ryer as a son of a bitch. I had to take a picture of that, and I thought, well. And then the next bathroom I went to, there was a toilet just filled with 5-hour energy bottles.
Ew.
Like it was just filled with them.
You took a picture of that?
Yeah, so I took a picture.
Why?
I was like, hey, what the fuck is this? I don't know.
What are you going to do with that picture?
I don't know. I don't have it anymore. I was making a video.
I don't know what you were doing.
I was making a video or a picture collage
for
Abner's wedding.
Yeah. So you're taking those kind of pictures.
Well, he got married. I mean, we're on the way to his wedding.
He's
what
looking at it. They're getting all teared up, and then Rick Ryer's the son of a bitch comes across the screen, and then
it was for his
toilet
wedding.
filled with energy drink
he didn't have a photographer for his wedding, so he wanted me to take pictures on the way.
He picked the right person.
He sure did.
That job was safe in your hands.
Well, it was like when we went to Jim Jaco's wedding. We drove down, and we didn't have a present, so we just stopped at every gas station to get presents for him. And one just happened to be a homemade porn DVD.
Yes.
That I accidentally dropped in the aisle as the bride was walking down.
Yes. Yes, that's not a lie.
It's not a lie.
That is a true thing that happened.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoops. That was an accident. Never invite me to your wedding.
No,
Saturday,
that's true.
May 8th, 1976. John Sebastian takes over the number one spot in the Billboard charts. You remember John Sebastian?
No.
You know who he is?
No, I don't. That's the thing about the '70s. A lot of the artists, I don't recognize their name at all.
John
I just
Sebastian
know the songs.
he was the former Lovin' Spoonful frontman. You know the Lovin'
Yeah,
Spoonful?
yeah,
You do?
I know of them. I don't know if I could name a specific song of theirs, but I know of them.
Well, this song was written and recorded by former Lovin' Spoonful frontman John Sebastian. It reached number one on the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 1 week.
Okay.
And TV producer Alan Sachs wanted a Lovin' Spoonful-like theme song for a new ABC sitcom entitled Cotter.
Oh.
Initially, Sebastian had considerable difficulty with the lyrics since including the title character's name didn't lend itself to a sufficient number of obvious rhymes.
Welcome back.
Instead, he decided to focus the lyrics on the idea of the series' premise of Cotter returning to the place he grew up and having dreamt of leaving to do something positive.
All the names have all changed since you've come around, but the dreams have remained and they turned around.
Who'd have thought they'd need you?
Who'd have thought they'd need you?
Back there where they made you.
Back there where we need you.
Well, we tease them a lot, but we got them on the spot.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Well, the producers liked the resulting song so much that they changed the name of the series to Welcome Back, Cotter.
Oh, wow.
It was just called Cotter. Yeah. How about that for a little knowledge for all
I love that
you?
song.
That's a great song.
Yeah, it is.
Now, when I first played it, I was like, that was the number one song. It's a TV theme song. But
then when you really
I
listen
kind
to
of
it,
laughed, and you look on YouTube, look this up, and there he is, John Sebastian, singing it with a guitar. Just a nice, friendly-looking guy with glasses and a guitar. It's just, that's the whole video. And there's a whole other verse that you never hear.
Yeah, right.
Kind of like Golden Girl, when you hear the other Golden Girls, the whole Golden Girl song, it's great. And the whole song's great. It really is. So... Welcome Back, Cotter. Plus, Mr. Cotter.
Plus, Welcome Back, Cotter was an awesome show.
Freddie Boom Boom
It
Washington.
was such a fun show.
It was great. I mean, just the character.
I was in love with Vinnie Barbarino.
Yeah.
Remember when he
so
did
weird.
Barbarino, and he was like dressed like Elvis, Plum Smugglers. And
I don't know. I very vaguely remember that. I remember. I think Epstein was my favorite. I got a note.
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
Yeah, it was great. Ooh.
There's so
Mr.
many things.
Cotter.
So many things.
Yeah, that was a great show. Rob Shields was a guy.
I feel like my classroom is kind of like that show.
I
think he was a special ed teacher when you think about it.
Yeah,
Now if you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he really was in the special. That was the resource room.
That were having troubles in school. We're going to drop
definitely
out.
the resource room.
In the Rob Shields, who's now a mailman. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's a listener of the show. Which you'd think a mailman would listen to podcasts. Maybe he doesn't like ours, but he had a Welcome Back Cotter lunchbox.
Sweet.
Kids, yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, if he still has it.
And that was the 80s. That was like, it was
way after. It was probably his brothers. One of his brothers.
His brothers were a lot older than him. So,
yeah.
But it was still cool. It's like, what's Welcome Back Cotter? We didn't even know then.
Oh, you didn't? It was on like.
It came on.
Well,
reruns.
you were 4 years. That's right. You're 4 years younger. So
when this came on, I was 0.
Yeah.
But then it was on for a few years. But when it came back onto syndication or whatever. Then it was on like
after school.
Yeah, it was on after school or something.
Yeah.
When I got into it. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I think when I was in 3rd grade, I didn't know what it was. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I remember being not too familiar with it then, but I love it now. Freddie Boom Boom Washington.
Yep.
Saturday, May 15th, 1976, the Silvers take over the number one spot on the Billboard charts. You know this song?
What is it?
Boogie Fever.
Boogie Fever. I got to boogie down. Down.
Do you remember what the song's about?
It's boogieing down. Boogie Fever.
The narrator of the song notes a change that seems to have come over his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. At the drive-in movie, she turns down the speaker volume and turns up the radio to hear her favorite disco songs.
And says she has boogie fever.
She boogies to the beat while eating her meal at a pizza parlor. He concludes that his girl must have caught
boogie fever.
The clap. Oh, yeah, the boogie fever.
Yeah.
Which seems to be going around. So is that supposed to be the clap?
What? No, boogie fever. She's dancing. She wants to dance.
Oh, okay, dancing.
Yeah.
But then in the final verse, he consults a doctor and realizes that he himself has caught the boogie fever.
Oh, I didn't realize the song went into this.
As a
much
result
detail
of
about.
dancing all night long, doing the bump, bump, bump with his girlfriend.
I didn't realize.
Remember that part?
The verses went like that. No.
Apparently, they did, and that's it. That was from May 15th to May 21st. That was number
All right.
one. And then on Saturday, May 22nd, Wings.
Oh,
Your favorite
boy.
band, Wings, takes over.
Yeah.
You remember what song?
No.
Silly Love Songs.
Just another little silly love song.
I love Drew. You.
Yeah.
Written by Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney and performed by Wings.
Yes. Wings is not my favorite.
It's not?
No, it's not my favorite.
Well, this song was written in response to music critics accusing McCartney of predominantly writing silly love songs and sentimental slush.
So then he
Also features
stuck it to the man.
So he's like, you know what? Fuck you. Listen to this.
Yep.
Because I don't give a shit. I was in the Beatles. I can do whatever I want now. I can put out garbage
And it doesn't matter.
for the rest of my
That's
life.
right.
And people will still spend $1,000 to see me in concert.
That's right, damn it.
Sunday, May 23rd, 1976, Elizabeth Ray claimed that her only duty for her $14,000 a year job was to have sex with Congressman Wayne Hayes.
Whoa. Boom.
The Washington Post broke the story, quoting Elizabeth Ray, Hayes' former secretary, saying that Hayes hired her on his staff and later gave her a raise as staff to the House Administration Committee for 2 years to serve as his mistress.
Wow.
She said, I can't type, I can't file, I can't even answer the phone.
She can't answer the phone.
Nope, she swallows it. She gets it stuck in her mouth every time. She just starts sucking on it. She can't do it.
Oh, man.
She even let a reporter listen in as the Ohio congressman.
She tried to answer the phone and accidentally swallowed it.
And he told her on the phone that his recent marriage to another former secretary would not affect their arrangement.
Okay.
Hayes had just divorced his wife of 38 years just months prior and married his veteran Ohio office secretary Patricia Peak 5 weeks before the scandal broke.
So he had the mistress during all of that going on? Like where he got divorced and remarried?
Yeah, he got remarried to his other secretary. But in the
he
meantime,
still-
he started, while he was getting ready to get married, his secretary he was probably cheating on his wife with.
Yeah, he still
he
had
started,
that mistress?
No, then he started sleeping with it. He hired another mistress because he was like, well, if I'm going to marry this mistress, then I need another so he hired a mistress
Jeez.
just to bang. And here's the funny thing is Liz, who told the story to the paper, she only told the paper because she was upset that she wasn't invited to the wedding.
Oh, my God.
I was good enough to be his mistress for 2 years, but not good enough to be invited to his wedding? Jeez.
Jeez. Hey, hell hath no fury.
So
Huh?
Hayes finally admitted to everything, but he never admitted to hiring her just for sex. But he did admit to the affair, and he resigned as chairman of the Committee on House Administration on June 18th, and then he resigned from Congress on September 1st, 1976.
Good riddance.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy would fit right in with everything now.
Yeah, he would.
Everything going on. And then Saturday, May 22nd, 1976, Diana Ross takes over the number one spot on the Hot 100.
With Love Hangover?
It is Love Hangover. Do you have a love hangover right now?
I don't need no cure. I don't need no cure. Sweet love doctor. It's not a real catchy
I
song.
don't remember this one. This was featured in a 1977 Diane Keaton film called Looking for Mr. Goodbar.
Okay.
Remember that?
I've heard of it.
Diana Ross also sang this song on an episode of The Muppet Show.
She sang Love Hangover on an episode of The Muppet Show?
Yeah.
It's an odd choice.
Yeah. That's a dumb thing. And then,
I think she's moaning and stuff in that song, too, a little bit.
well, Muppets make you moan. The song was featured in CBC's annual year-end playoff montage on Hockey Night in Canada in 2009.
Okay.
And the song is featured in promos for the final season of Mad Men.
Alrighty.
That's all I got about that song. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Nope.
Sunday, June 6th,
Yeah.
1976, Frontier Airlines hired the U.S.'s first female pilot captain.
Okay.
Do you know her?
No.
You don't know who it is, Miss Feminist? You
Miss
don't know who
Feminist?
the first... You're always, I'm a feminist. Me too.
No.
Hashtag me too, bitches. And you don't even
All
know
right.
who the U.S.'s
Who
first
is it?
Emily Howell Warner.
Okay. Yes. And? Is there anything interesting?
Well, I don't know if this is interesting or not, but she decided.
But you're going to say it anyway.
She decided on a career in piloting after her first trip on an airplane, where she was allowed to sit in the cockpit of a plane flying her home after a trip to Denver.
Okay.
She said the pilot could see how excited I was and encouraged me to take flying lessons. And I said, can girls do that? She started flying in 1958 after getting the approval of her parents for lessons. The lessons cost $13 per week.
Which is probably a lot.
Yeah, for 1958.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a $38 a week paycheck.
Oh.
$38 a week.
Yep.
Anyway, so sometimes she worked 14 hours a day with a morning flight, a full-time office job, and an evening flight. And she got her pilot's license and a job as a flying traffic reporter within a year. Anyway, she is in multiple halls of fame, including the National Aviation Hall of Fame and the National Women's Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's good. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her. She's great.
Yep.
Boom. Women are better than men.
Women can do it.
Women can do anything.
That's right.
I think women should be in charge of everything for a while.
Well, we needed something.
Everything.
Something has to give. Something's got to change. So that's a good start.
Something's got to give.
Men have screwed it up enough.
I just think women, I don't know, they're just like, get it. They're not so violent or something.
Aggressive.
You know? Like they're just like, everything would be soft.
I don't think women, and this might be a generalization,
Yeah.
I don't think women can be as easily bought as men can.
Yeah, I feel like, too, they have better morals or something.
Yeah,
like, you don't hear about corrupt women ever.
Very much, yeah.
I mean, once in a while.
But it's rare.
Ann Coulter or something. But
yeah.
And most women smell so much better.
That's true, too.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
We don't need to start naming names, though. No, we don't need to.
I was talking about our daughter. She just farted earlier and was like,
"Oh, all right."
I just farted.
Now you ruined it.
I just ruined it. No, all other women except my daughter can do anything. No, she's pretty badass. She's probably gonna be something big.
Yep.
And fart the whole time. June 26th.
Yeah.
Omen. The movie Omen came
The
out.
Omen, honey.
Oh, The
Not
Omen.
Omen.
I don't know. I've never heard of this movie, and you made me put it in here, so I'm putting it in
The
here.
Omen, yeah.
It wasn't one of the top 10 movies that year. It
No.
wasn't.
No, but it was...
But you have a story about this.
a little bit.
Right?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Right.
It was...
Give it to me. Drop it on me, baby. Drop it.
It was...
Drop it like it's hot.
a story about the birth of the Antichrist.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. The Omen is the birth of the Antichrist.
Oh, I don't know if
And it's a little boy, and he's like the devil. He's the devil.
This is starring Don Knotts.
It's... Oh, God, I didn't write down who it stars. Wait, I wrote down some of them.
Okay,
All right.
did.
So the story of the Omen's special effects consultant, John Richardson, is the most uncanny and spooky cursed movie event in history.
Okay, it's about the special
Effects consultant.
Okay.
Richardson created the Omen's iconic death scenes. Among the most remembered is the bloody beheading of photographer Keith Jennings.
Oh.
Anyone who's seen The Omen remembers Jennings' head being separated from his body by a plate glass and bouncing through the air.
Oh, God.
A few months after the release of The Omen, Richardson was in Holland working on A Bridge Too Far. Just after midnight on Sunday, the 13th of June, 1976, Richardson and his assistant Liz Moore were involved in a deadly car accident. The head-on collision killed Moore, who was cut in half by the other vehicle's wheel, mirroring the on-screen death of the photographer from The Omen.
It really happened?
Yes.
Not in the movie. This isn't a movie.
No, this is really
happened.
The guy who
And it
made
happened
that
just the
event.
way he made that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's weird and tragic, but it gets even weirder. Richardson, dazed from the collision, opened his eyes on the lonely road, and the first thing he saw when a kilometer marker reading Omen 666.
Wait, Richardson just had his head cut off.
No, it was the girl with him.
Oh, she had her head cut off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, she was cut in half.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So he opens his eyes and he sees a sign that reads Omen 666.
Oh, God.
The closest town to the accident was Omen, Netherlands, and the accident happened at kilometer 66.6.
Oh, my word.
Richardson's crash was the culmination of the Omen curse, but weird occurrences around the film date back to its very inception.
What else? What else? Give me it.
The Omen was conceived by Robert Munger, who had no film background, but who was suddenly struck with the idea of making a movie about the Antichrist as a child.
I'm Robert Munger, and I'm going to make a movie about the Antichrist as a child. I don't know anything about movies.
But I know a lot about the Antichrist.
But I love the Antichrist.
Producer Harvey Bernhard and Mace Newfield foolishly ignored the...
Mace Newfield?
Yeah.
Mace Newfield.
Foolishly ignored the potential for satanic hoodoo attacks, saw dollar signs in Munger's idea, and started putting together a slick but schlocky horror film designed to take advantage of the vogue for devilish films that began with Rosemary's Baby.
Right. Mace Newfield's onto something because devil movies, I mean, this was the shit.
Yeah,
the 70s.
the
Everything
70s.
was the devil.
The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, the
everything
Omen.
was. That's all anybody did was the devil and hippies and whatever else.
So Munger, who was a devout Christian, raised the first alarm during pre-production. He called a meeting with Barhart and offered the following warning. The devil's greatest single weapon is to be invisible, and you're going to take off his cloak of invisibility to millions of people. With production plans for The Omen coming together in spite of the prophecies of its creator, the producers scored big by landing Gregory Peck to star as Ambassador Thorne.
All I'm saying is, and we got Gregory Peck, I'm just warning you, maybe we should stop playing the Ouija board all the time. Like the Ouija board, we're burning crosses, we're putting hot wax on our nipples.
Yep.
Just maybe we should stop some of this.
Well, Gregory Peck, after he agreed to appear in the movie, his son shot himself in the head, leaving no note.
Holy shit.
Although racked with grief, Peck didn't let the suicide deter him from starring in The Omen. He flew to England in October 1975 to start work on the movie.
Suicide schmuicide.
But he almost didn't make it across the ocean.
Oh, no. Turbulence?
In the middle of the stormy, turbulent crossing of the Atlantic, Peck's plane was struck by lightning.
Holy fuck. I don't like turbulence, man.
According to Mace Newfield, the engine caught fire, and the plane nearly crashed into the sea.
And Mace Newfield does not fuck around.
Then, a few days later, lightning struck Newfield's plane as he crossed the Atlantic, too.
Oh, shit.
Two
Mace
planes,
Newfield?
2 lightning strikes.
That doesn't happen very often, does it?
No. Those aren't the
Yikes.
only weird plane stories from the Omen's production either. One of the first shots planned for the movie was an aerial shot of London to be taken from a rented plane. At the last minute, the plane rental company switched aircrafts and gave the original plane to a group of Japanese businessmen. Apparently, no one informed Satan of this change of plans, and he targeted the plane full of innocent businessmen, slamming it into the ground and instantly killing them all.
Oh, those poor Japanese businessmen. They could have been doing something great.
I know it. So,
Poor fellas.
among the most memorable set pieces in The Omen is Gregory Peck being attacked by a pack of brutal Rottweilers. To shoot the scene, the highly trained devil dogs were supposed to attack a heavily padded stuntman. But something went very wrong, and the fake attack turned real.
Yeah, because Gregory Peck accidentally wore the fake guy's clothes.
No, the pack of snarling hellhounds nearly killed the stuntman, biting through his padding and refusing to stop even when their trainer ordered them to.
Oh,
The stuntman survived, but a local zookeeper wasn't so fortunate.
Oh, a local zookeeper died?
Sidney Baumford, a London animal expert, was working as a big cat wrangler for the production when he met his violent end.
Oh, shit.
The film was originally to include a scene where zoo tigers menaced Damien and Bamford was helping to wrangle the animals. Around the time of the filming, Bamford apparently neglected to properly secure one of the tigers, and the beast went full Siegfried and Roy on the unlucky zookeeper.
Siegfried and Roy,
who died at its tooth and claw.
I happen to know somebody who worked with Siegfried and Roy for years.
You do?
Yeah, I work with him, and he has endless Siegfried and Roy stories.
Oh my God, I
Like
would love those.
Yeah, he's got stories for days about everything. He's
Yeah.
the same guy who grew up with Jack Sue from Barney Miller
Oh,
and Red
okay,
Fox
yeah.
playing cards. Like,
Yeah.
this guy's got stories for
Wow.
days. Yeah.
So, during
Sorry. Siegfried and Roy. You just said Siegfried and Roy. Hi, I'm Siegfried.
Okay,
And I'm Roy.
so having failed to kill the Omen producer Mace Newfield with a lightning strike to his airplane at the start of production,
You're not going to kill Mace Newfield.
Satan started throwing bombs at the Hollywood legend. During the filming of The Omen, Newfield was staying at the Hilton Hotel in London, but then it blew up.
The hotel blew
Yeah.
up? Holy shit. Just stop making the movie.
Newfield escaped death, but because he wasn't in the building at the time. But days later, Newfield, Bernhard, and other film executives were en route to a trendy London restaurant, and that blew up too.
The restaurant blew up?
Yeah.
Come on.
Again,
did you look at
Newfield
this on
missed the
Snopes?
explosion by minutes.
This can't be right.
While some have interpreted these two bombings as satanic attempts on Newfield's life, skeptics point out that the IRA was bombing a lot of things in London at the time.
Okay.
So while unfortunate, narrowly missing a couple explosions wasn't exactly out of the ordinary.
I don't know.
So then that was pretty much it. The devil seems to have squashed whatever beef he had.
Did Satan stopped after that?
Then, yeah.
He probably liked the movie. He's like, hey, this movie's coming along. I'll let you guys finish it.
Newfield went on to produce the Omen sequels, among many other movies. He's currently alive and well and producing Equalizer 2.
Mace Newfield is?
Yes.
Oh, I was hoping there would be an Equalizer 2.
Yep. Sure is.
Did you ever see Equalizer 1?
I saw the show. I used to love the show.
I didn't know there was a movie based on The Equalizer.
I didn't either.
Who was in the show?
I can't remember that guy's name. Is an old white man.
Bob Carradine?
Nope. Anyway,
well, that was pretty interesting. That was fucked up. I kind of, you know what? I kind of want to see the movie now. I think, I feel like for marketing, they could just save their money and just tell those stories.
Yeah, I know.
Like, hey, this movie was, Satan was trying to stop
I wish I should have done that to The Exorcist, too, because there's a bunch of creepy things with The Exorcist, too.
Well, you missed your opportunity, and our podcast is now a failure because of that.
I know. I can't believe I did that.
Well, we'll never make it anywhere, and we'll have to just stop the podcast.
All right, what's next?
Thursday, July 1st, 1976.
Oh, that's me again.
It's you. Keep on going, baby. You were on a roll, so keep on going.
All right, so
this is the same day that the premiere
of the
film. This was a premiere of the second highest grossing film was on July 1st.
Oh, was it?
And this is weird because the 70s was weird. The second highest grossing movie was a film for the theater of the National Air and Space Museum.
Oh, that's right.
Smithsonian Institution. It's a brief summary of the history of flight from the 19th century balloons through 21st century space probes, while simultaneously showing off the new IMAX film medium. The evolution of flying technology is portrayed in parallel with the story of the westward exploration of America and the rural to cosmopolitan transformation of American society.
Yeah, it looked pretty damn boring.
It just looked like a movie,
like stock footage of people at the airport.
Something you'd see at a museum, and it's shown in the Smithsonian Institution's National Air and Space Museum when it first opened, and for many years after. But it looks like it was just like trying to use the IMAX technology. It was like, here's the movie. So I think it was so popular because, check out IMAX. It's so big and crazy.
Yeah.
So it was just called To Fly.
Oh, right.
And it came out that day.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. What do you have about that day?
Okay. I have to go back.
Oh, well, here we go.
A little bit for this one. Mm-hmm. So, Anna Elizabeth Michelle was born on September 21st, 1952, the first of 4 daughters for Joseph and Anna.
Her last name was Michelle?
Mm-hmm. Michel.
Okay.
The Michelles were a deeply religious family with 3 aunt nuns and Joseph himself having considered the priesthood.
Okay.
Before Annalise, though, the couple had been disgraced when Anna had given birth to an illegitimate daughter named Martha, causing her to have to wear black veil on her wedding day.
Oh, you really have to do that?
Yeah. Well, they were so religious.
Yeah, I guess. That's terrible.
So when their first daughter together was born, Anna encouraged Annalise to atone for her mother's sins through devotion to God. This push likely increased after Martha died after surgery in 1956. Over time, Annalise grew into a kind and obedient young woman who regularly showed her devotion. For instance, in penance for the sins of homeless drug addicts and other wayward souls, teenage Annalise regularly slept on their home's bare stone floor.
You know what? Good for her.
However, in 1968, when she was only 16 years old, the young German Catholic girl suffered convulsions that were identified as an epileptic attack related to temporal lobe epilepsy.
Oh, that sucks. Is it from sleeping on the floor?
No. After receiving a certain medication in 1970, she complained of seeing the faces of frozen or ghostly demonic beings.
Oh, red M&Ms.
In 1973, Annalise Michelle graduated from high school and left for college at West Germany's University of Würzburg. Würzburg,
Wiener Schnitzel.
Hoping to pursue teaching as a career. As a student, her peers saw Michelle as overly religious and tended to stay in her dorm room with her pictures of saints and pray to the rosary.
Well,
like you do.
Yeah, some people do that.
But
each his own.
The young student
was... You want to do a bunch of coke and go out in the town and do disco parties and whatever else?
That's right.
And go behind an Arby's and do whatever happens back there?
But the young student was hiding her suffering. Oh. While others saw Michelle as withdrawn, she was in fact suffering from increasingly intense hallucinations of devils telling her that she would rot in hell.
Oh, poor thing.
Especially while praying. At the same time, Michelle began to smell fire and excrement and experience upper limb paralysis.
Oh, gosh.
When combined with her growing disassociation with treatment, this led to bouts of depression and self-destructive behavior.
Poor thing.
Around this time, Annalise took a pilgrimage trip with a friend who noticed that she was unable to walk past a crucifix.
Oh, she just couldn't do it.
Couldn't do
Maybe
it.
the Omen rubbed off on her. This
Maybe.
Omen curse.
Shortly after the connection had been made, she and her parents were entirely convinced of Annalise's possession.
Oh, boy, she's really possessed. She's a
Although
real person.
she continued to take an anti-seizure drug and mood stabilizer.
Yeah, it could
Experts have since pointed to this moment as the case's turning point, in that her symptoms closely resemble schizophrenia and should have been treated as such. However, religious figures have also noted that every single priest who met Annalise eventually concluded that she was possessed.
I remember the guy that I used to work with that had schizophrenia. Every once in a while, he would just start flipping out and talking to weird things, and he would just get right in your face and go, "Who is your God? Who is your God? Who is your God?"
He also had developmental disabilities, didn't he?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, he would. But that's some freaky shit right
Yeah.
there. Like somebody just yelling that in your face, and you have to just like, "All right, buddy, you ready for bed?"
Yeah. See you later.
Yeah, want to play some more? Want to play another game of billiards? Or who is your God? I don't know. My God's, I don't know. I guess Jesus. Who's your God?
After applying twice for an exorcism, Annalise and her family became dispirited.
Wait, after what?
Applying twice for an exorcism.
You have to apply for
Yeah.
an exorcism?
Yes, the Catholic Church doesn't just grant them. The young Michelle experienced severe, intense suicidal episodes during which she ate insects, burned religious objects, harmed herself, and even drank her own urine.
You said spurned religious
Yeah.
objects?
Yeah.
Spurned them?
Like, shunned
like,
them.
Wouldn't
Like
go
shunned
near
them,
them?
yes.
Okay, I see. I didn't know if you said spurned or burned.
No. Although Annalise had returned home for family
Wait,
support,
what was the last thing? Spurned religious objects and what?
drank her own urine.
Oh, wait.
You missed that one.
How am I going to just gloss over that one?
Yeah.
Drink her own urine?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
You know, at one point do you like, okay, there may be something wrong with her. She's
Right.
drinking her own pee. Like, that's when I
There's-
would be like, that's where I cut it off. That's
Yeah.
when I'm like, okay,
Something's really
that's
wrong.
enough. This isn't a joke anymore.
Yeah, something's really loopy. Although Annalise had returned home for family support, the Toledo Blade
The Toledo Blade, y'all.
reports the family experienced paranormal activity, such as swarms of flies, flickering lights, and telephone calls from people who later claimed not to have called.
Did this happen in Toledo?
I love that. No, it happened in Germany, but I love that.
The Toledo Blade is the source?
Yeah,
It's a great paper.
I love that there's all these things, flickering lights, and all this paranormal activity, and then the last thing is people who calls from people who later claimed they never called. Like that. That's so not scary
Yeah.
compared to the other things. You know?
Gary called. That's the other thing.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I love that the Toledo Blade is the source. That's, being from Toledo originally. Right. That's the paper that we grew up reading.
That's right. So in
subscribed to.
1975, the family's third exorcism request met with success.
Oh, finally, somebody let them do it.
And the right of exorcism was granted by the Bishop of Würzburg, Joseph Stengel.
Okay, Joseph Stengel, y'all.
He then appointed local pastor Ernst Alt and former Chinese missionary Father Arnold Renz, who chose the 17th century ritual Romanum as the basis for the exorcism.
That's an exorcism dream team right there, baby.
That's what I'm thinking. They began on September 24th, 1975.
Oh, you mean the same time Starsky and Hutch were assigned to escort the daughter of a crime boss from San Francisco to Los Angeles, but a security leak had unleashed hordes of hitmen that they must evade en route?
Yes, I bet.
Yeah, that was on Starsky and Hutch, baby.
That's when they began the exorcism.
That was probably on in the room while they were exercising.
Yeah, it probably was.
Huggy Bear was probably walking by going, "Hey, baby."
So they at one point managed to rid Annalise of all but one demon, only to have them all return the next day.
Oh, man, they were making such progress.
On the whole, Michelle believed she had been possessed by more than 6 demons, including Lucifer, Judas Iscariot, Nero, Cain, Hitler, and a disgraced priest.
Well, that's pretty. Well, the disgraced
Pretty.
priest
That's
doesn't really
talk about a dream team.
That's pretty good. The disgraced priest doesn't really just fit in. Like, which disgraced priest? Like, what did he do?
When questioned about the reason for the possession, the demons replied that she'd been cursed for her mother's infidelity.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. That's cool.
That's
yeah,
why.
that makes sense. Your mom cheated. Yeah, she already wore the black gown, for God's sakes. Isn't that enough?
Yep. In the beginning of July 1975, Annalise began to claim she was being regularly visited by Mother Mary. Mm-hmm. While taking a walk with her fiancé, Peter,
Mary.
That she's got a fiancé.
Where's Paul? Oh, yeah, he's staying through her with all this.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about when she was drinking her pee that I might break up with her, but, you know, I'm not going to do anything.
Well, taking a walk with her fiancé, Peter, Annalise dropped to her knees, claimed later that she'd spoken with the Virgin. 2 months later, during a quiet period, she was again visited by the Virgin Mary, who asked her to do penance for lost souls. Shortly thereafter, Annalise agreed and the possession intensified. The exorcism progressed to include more than 67 rites conducted over 10 months with 1 or 2 sessions a week.
That's a lot of exorcism.
I mean, that's a little exorcism overkill, you know.
Yeah, but he's still like, we're going to have our wedding soon, so we got to get these.
Yeah,
gotta get this taken care of.
During this time, Annalise was known to urinate freely and eat bugs, dead animals, and coal.
Coal?
On one occasion, she got under a table and barked like a dog for 2 full days.
2 days of that. Well, I'm thinking, this might be it. I just might call the wedding off.
You're barking like a dog for 2 full days.
She's peeing all over the place. She's been barking for 2 days. She keeps eating the well, at least the cockroach problem's going away. She's eating the cockroaches. I'm getting close to thinking this marriage isn't going to work out. I'll just hang on a little bit longer.
Check and see what happens.
I'll just see. I'll ride it out.
The experience did Michelle great harm, with her knee ligaments rupturing after hundreds of genuflections. You know what that is?
I don't know what a genuflection is.
You bow one knee, like as you walk down the aisle in Catholic church. You bow one knee down. It's
you do?
And you kind of bow like that, and
so
then you go into the aisle.
She's doing that hundreds of times? Mm-hmm. That would hurt your knees.
In addition, with the return of her convulsions around Easter of that year, Annalise started refusing food and drink to protect herself against Satan's influence.
Well, that might work.
Despite the harm to herself, Annalise was focused on dying to atone for the sins of others.
Oh, well.
During the final exorcism, Annalise's parents had to carry her through the motions as she only weighed 68 pounds and was too weak to move her body.
Huh.
She died on July 1st of severe dehydration and malnutrition, along with a high fever and pneumonia. Her final words...
She died the same day as Eddie Mecca and Ann Mira were on the $10,000 pyramid. You know who Eddie Mecca is, right?
No.
Carmine from Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, okay.
So while she's dying, Carmine was answering funny questions.
So her final words to the exorcist were, "Beg for absolution," and to her mother, "Mother, I'm afraid." Afterwards, the parents and priests were harshly criticized for their role in Annalise's death.
Yep.
In particular, several medical specialists noted that if the young woman had been force-fed even a week before her death, she would have lived through the experience. However, Annalise herself had played an important part in her own fate, such that the 4 defendants could not be so harshly judged. In particular, during the events of the trial, Annalise's sister would point out that she had not wanted to eat, much less be force-fed, because she had been intent on dying for others' sins.
She wouldn't even eat a Twinkie.
The case came to trial on March 30th, 1978.
She wouldn't eat any devil's food. Oh, March 30th, 1978. That's when Grandma comes home on the Waltons. Grandma returns from the hospital, but the family does not let her do anything.
Well, what a predicament.
You see, Ellen Corby had recovered enough from her stroke to return to the series.
Oh, that's delightful.
Also, an overweight boy is interested in Elizabeth.
What?
Yeah,
On the Waltons?
A fat kid is interested in Elizabeth Walton.
And
yeah.
she doesn't know what to do.
What do I do? He's a fat kid. He's overweight. He's just so
smells.
fat. I don't like him.
The case came to trial then on March 30th, 1978, with an intense public interest in the fates of the 4 defendants. While Father Arnold Renz and Pastor Ernst Au were represented by a church-appointed lawyer, Joseph and Anna Michelle had to employ their own.
Oh.
Doctors testified that Annalise had been suffering from the psychological effects of an exceptionally harsh upbringing, while the bishop, who had okayed her exorcism, noted that he'd been unaware of Michelle's health conditions.
They should get the lawyer from the staircase.
Oh, yeah.
They should get that guy.
On the one hand, the defense argued that all 4 defendants were protected by the German Constitution, and an exorcism should occur as protected religious practice.
Huh.
Furthermore, they played tapes of Annalise's demons, and you can hear these.
What?
You can hear the audio of her exorcisms.
You can hear the demons?
Yeah. I mean, you can hear her doing that.
Oh, doing that crazy
voice. Yeah.
It's just through her voice.
But it's creepy. It's really creepy.
Really?
It is, yes.
Where do you hear this?
You can Google it.
What should I Google?
Annalise Michelle audio.
Okay. Annalise Michelle audio. So take a moment, listeners. Pull over in your car. If you're in your car, stop in the middle of traffic and just get out of your car and Google this. And we'll wait.
All right. So
pause our podcast. Okay. So great. Did you listen? Wasn't that creepy?
So in the end, all 4 were found guilty of negligent homicide and sentenced to 6 months in prison, suspended with 3 years probation.
Huh.
Although the prison time was later waived, the Michelles paid the costs of a 3-week trial, while the priests only faced minor fines.
Huh.
Many agree that the events of Annalise's exorcism seem to show gross negligence on the priest's part for not having a medical professional on site in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
However, as reported in the Toledo Blade at the time,
Toledo Blade, y'all.
the
I wonder why
exorcism.
Toledo Blade was all
I don't
over
know.
this.
The exorcism ritual explicitly notes that they are not responsible for medical matters. In the decades since Annalise Michel died, her story has lived on as the basis of many fictional accounts, including the films The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Do you remember that movie?
Nope.
That was 2005. Requiem in 2008.
Requiem for a Dream?
And Annalise, The Exorcist tapes. Most provide a warning whether to take the supernatural more seriously or to recognize the complex nature of mental illness.
Huh, yeah, definitely mental illness is the whole thing here.
Yeah, the problem may have been that Annalise was never epileptic in the first place. In that case, the medications could have intensified her hallucinations to the point of feeling possessed.
So the drugs made it crazy.
Yes. It points, yeah, there...
I really can't understand why the Toledo Blade would be reporting any of this. Do they have like a German reporter, or do they have like somebody who focuses on the occult, or...
I don't know. Yeah. She was buried on the outer edges of a local cemetery just beside her half-sister Martha in an area reserved for suicides and illegitimate children. However, she was not able to rest in peace, at least not after a Carmelite nun from southern Bavaria had a vision of her body being intact in the grave. In 1978, after receiving word from the nun, the Michels had her coffin exhumed and replaced with a lined oak coffin.
By all
Carmelite nun.
Carmelite nun? What does that mean?
Carmelite nun. It's an order of nuns.
Oh, because I love caramel.
Not caramel.
Caramel.
By all reports, the body had decayed just as much as one would expect from any ordinary person, but that hadn't stopped the pilgrims from visiting her grave.
Oh.
Many even consider her an unofficial saint with the ability to save lost souls through her past suffering.
Really?
Yep.
Saint Annalise?
So that's a story of Annalise Michel, one of the more famous stories of a real quote-unquote exorcism. And I thought it was interesting that it comes out the same year as all these devil movies and stuff. Like, it makes me wonder, had she seen the movie The Exorcist?
Yeah, and then just was copying what she saw in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess. I would guess that's what it is.
But you can even find pictures of her, and she looks awful. Like, you can see a picture of her when she's like normal, and then the picture of her near the end of her all those exorcisms, and she looks possessed.
Really?
Yeah.
Annalise, what's her name?
Annelise.
Oops. Annalise what?
Michelle, Michel.
Oh, Michelle, that's right. I'll cut this out, but I just want to... Ugh, gross. Oh, she looks pretty with her
I know,
picture.
right?
Poor thing. She was a very pretty girl, and then
yeah.
Actually, I'm really into her. No, I'm just kidding. But you see the pictures of the
before and then after, and then
poor thing. She probably saw that movie and went crazy. But plus was on those drugs that she didn't need to be on. That doesn't really fuck you up.
I know.
Man, that's gross.
Yeah.
I feel sad, and I want to take a shower.
I know.
A lot of your stories make me feel that way.
Well, it's just amazing that it's just one of those battles. It's like, well, it's their religious beliefs. Should that trump, getting medical treatment?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's people like Christian Scientists who don't believe in any medicine and any medical attention, and it's like.
Well, my grandmother doesn't believe in any medical attention. She'll never die. She's 174.
But what I'm saying is for your children. That's when it's like.
That's where it's like you're making the decision for your child based on your belief.
Right.
They don't get a chance.
They don't get a voice in it. And at what age, is that no longer valid? And I mean, I would say she was definitely old. But I mean, she even believed it. So.
Right. She didn't want.
She wanted to die.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe everything is all just. Maybe all mental illness isn't mental illness at all.
It's all devil's possession.
Well, or being possessed by aliens, or
you just want it to be aliens,
or other dimensions, or
no.
There's just more to our reality.
That sounds very silly.
There's just more to our reality than meets the eye. I think.
You think?
Like
you believe in devil worship and
I don't know.
Possessions.
Nobody can explain what the hell. How our planet got here. Like, how did our solar system... Like, nobody gets it. Like, how are we even here?
Well, there's some people that know.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
That guy knows.
that's right.
He's too smart and he can't put it in layman's terms.
All right, thank you. That wraps it up for
That's
tonight.
it? You think we're done?
I think so.
And then we'll start up with July 4th of 1976. When we
Oh,
come
that's
back.
gonna be a
We'll start with the
shebang.
bicentennial.
Yes.
All the bicentennial stuff. There's like bonsai trees that are gifted,
What?
and George Washington was exhumed, and they brought him back to life. All kinds of crazy stuff happened.
That's right.
That we're going to cover next episode. We'll start with July, and we'll just get right through. So you have to have a shorter story next time, so we can get through all that.
Okay.
But we'll start with the bicentennial on our next episode. This has been episode.
I think I got a good one next time. Or no,
You
I'm
do?
thinking of 70. I'm thinking of 77.
So you have a terrible one this time?
No, it's not bad, but I got a really
You have a really good one next episode?
77 and 78 are bananas.
Oh, the next years. But next episode, you don't have anything good.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's good, but it's not like 77 and 78. Like I said, bananas. Like
So
I have so many to pick from.
So you're saying episode 45 will be but episode 46, 47, 48 will
That's
be
right.
great. 49 and 50.
That's pretty much
Because our
what I'm saying.
50th episode, you got to get good. That's like halfway through 1779. Like
Yeah.
that's 50 episodes. This has been episode 44 of American Timelines by History for Jerks.
That's right.
Those of you who've been listening to all 44 episodes, guess what? You get a prize. If you can prove to us that you've listened to all 44 episodes, you can have one night with a bear sexually. You can have sex with a bear. I'm going to find a bear, I'm going to catch it, and you can have sex with it.
Okay, it's time to get out of here, Chuck Berry.
Get out of here, Chuck Berry. Stop checking out bears naked.
What?
Bear sex. Remember that book?
Yeah,
Having sex with a bear.
right. What does that have to do with Chuck Berry?
Rick Ryer's a son of a bitch.
All right.
American Timelines is a member of the Queen City Podcast Network. For more information, go to queencitypodcastnetwork.com.